A lot of new GPU mineable coins have popped up in the past 3 years or so, and one thing that all of these coins do have in common is that none of them have existed through a full crypto bull run yet. And something we have seen happen before during a crypto bull run, kind of like the one we are in right now, is that out of nowhere, a random little no-name coin completely just spikes up in value out of nowhere and becomes a top 500 coin by market cap. So that got me thinking, what if that actually were to happen with one of these new GPU mineable coins? And more specifically, what would that actually mean for your GPU mining profitability if you were to be mining that specific coin? So that is what we're going to be looking at in this video. I'm going to take 12 of the newer GPU mineable coins that have popped up in these past few years, and I'm going to see what would the mining profitability actually look like if any of them were to pop off in price completely and out of nowhere become a top 500 coin. Now, this video is going to be a continuation to a video I posted a little while back on my channel here. This video that I have up on the screen here. And in that video, I looked at all the GPU mineable coins that actually had existed through a previous crypto bull run. And I looked at what would the mining profitability for those coins be today, or well, when I posted the video at that point, if those coins were to go back to the coin price that they were actually able to sustain during the previous crypto bull run. So it's essentially if they went back to their, previous sustained high in the previous crypto bull run, if they did that again in this crypto bull run that we're in right now, what would the mining profitability be then for those coins? And the reason I bring that video up here is because in that, not only do I cover, what I just mentioned there, but I also go through some of the fundamentals for GPU mining that I think you should be aware of before, diving into something like this. Stuff like, for example, it might always be better to mine the most profitable coin rather than just a specific coin, because if you mine the most profitable coin, you can then just take those profits and swap them into whatever coin it is that you want to be holding and that you believe will shoot up in price. Or also that in many cases, of course, if mining isn't profitable to begin with for you, it is then, better to kind of just outright buy the coin rather than mine it, and so on. And I also cover some of the specific cases where that might actually not be the case, even if crypto mining isn't profitable for you, and so on. So go check that video out if you need to learn any of those things. Link will be down in the video description, because in this video, I'm just going to cover straight up mining these coins and what that would then lead to in terms of profitability if those coins were to become a top 500 coin by market cap. So that's what we're going to be looking at right now. And here is the little spreadsheet that I have put together. I picked out the 12 kind of most prominent coins that are GPU mineable, which have popped up in the last few years ago, but that specifically haven't existed through a full crypto bull run previously. You can see the little list of coins here. If you think I've missed any coin, then please leave them down in the comments and maybe we could have a look at them in an upcoming video. But do keep in mind, coins that are older than these coins and therefore have lived through a previous crypto bull run, I have already covered in that previous video I just mentioned. So without further ado, let's just go through and just let me explain how this all is going to work. So essentially, what we're going to be doing here is we're going to look at these coins, we're going to look at their current coin price, we're going to look at their current market cap. We're then going to see what their coin price would be if they out of nowhere became a top 500 by a coin by market cap. So essentially how that math works is you just take the market cap of the top 500 coin as of today, and you divide that by the market cap of the coin in question, and then whatever number you get there, you just multiply the current coin price with, and that gives you the coin price for if this coin were to become a top 500 coin. Don't worry if you didn't follow all of that. We're gonna be doing it together for this first coin here, which is 𝗧. Then we're gonna be looking at how much of this coin do you actually yield per day mining it right now. with a rig of 12 3070s, which I believe at this point is kind of a very run-of-the-mill kind of mining rig. You might very well have something better than that at this point, or maybe you have a couple of rigs that equal up roughly to something like this. And then we're also, of course, going to be looking at what the power cost of running one of those mining rigs would be per day. And now I've chosen 15 cents per kilowatt hour as the power price for that, as I think it is kind of, well, at this point, maybe that's a bit of a low power price, but hey, I'm still running with that. It's actually lower than what I have at the moment. I'm more around the 17.5 cents per kilowatt hour, but yeah, let's run with 15. It's a nice kind of common number, I believe. And then finally, all of that brings us what the sort of hypothetical daily quote-unquote profit would be if you're mining, holding, and then the coin all of a sudden becomes a top 500 coin. So without further ado, let's just jump into this. And we got 𝗧 here. So I'm going to look up 𝗧 on CoinGecko here. And that first of all gives us the current coin price for 𝗧, which I'm just going to paste in here. And then we also need to look at the current market cap for 𝗧, which we've got down here. It's about $25.8 million as of right now recording this video. So I'm just pasting that in there. Now what we need to do is we need to do this little calculation here. So to start, what we need to do is we just need to look at what the market cap is for the current top 500 coin, and then do a little bit of math to figure out what that would mean in terms of coin price for 𝗧 if it were to reach top 500. So we're just gonna go to CoinGecko's first, start page here, and we're just going to sort all of the coins by market cap like that. And then we're just going to scroll down and go to page number 5 to get to coin number 500 on this list, which we find out is, I guess, 𝗏𝗏𝗏 or 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. And we're going to look at the market cap for those coins. Yeah, around $104, $103 million in terms of market cap. So let's just go with $100 million. It's a nice even number there. So I'm just going to type out 100 million. Then I'm going to divide that by the current market cap of this coin. And then that will give us a fraction, which then we're going to multiply with the current coin price. So essentially, if we do the math backwards there, what it gives us is take today's coin price and multiply it with whatever this is. And that means that the market cap for 𝗧 would then become $100 million, which would put it right in the top 500 for coin by market cap. So there we go. That would give us a coin price of a little under 20 cents per coin. Now, next we're going to be looking at the mining yield and the power consumption for mining 𝗧. And of course, we've got good old hashrate.no for this. So I've got a rig of 12 3070s filled in here. And we're just going to type 𝗧 into the little search bar there. There we go. So the yield for the past 24 hours there were 81.97 𝗧. So I'm just going to fill that in, 81.97. And then the power consumption for 12 3070s, which I had, pre-filled here, would be 1788 watts. So let's just fill that in. There we go. And that means that at 15 cents per kilowatt hour, the power cost for running a rig like this mining 𝗧 would be $6.44. So what then happens if you mine just under 82 𝗧 per day, and 𝗧 then becomes a top 500 coin, or in other words, 𝗧 reaches a coin price of just under 20 cents per coin? Well, let's have a look, shall we? The coin, or the hypothetical daily quote-unquote profit in that case, would be about $9, just under $10, and that is after subtracting the power cost, of course. So there you go. There's a little formula there, just the new coin price multiplied by the daily mining yield and then subtracting the power cost. So now that we understand how this all works, let's just have a look at the rest of the coins here, starting by just revealing what the coin price would turn out. So if, you know, next up Ironfish were to become a top 500 coin by market cap, the coin price would go from about 19 cents to about $1.50 per coin. Next up we got 𝗧, and let's see what that would be. It would go from, well, a very small fraction of a cent to a slightly larger fraction of a cent, I guess. And then we got 𝗦𝗚𝗚 here, going from about just under 9 cents per coin to about 80 cents per coin, so almost a 10x there. Next we have 𝗧𝗏, which would go from about 1.5 cents to about 18 cents, just under 18 cents. We got 𝗬𝗓, which would go from $1.65 to just under 30 bucks, which that's pretty impressive. We got Dynex, which would go from about 5 cents to just under $1, so about a 20x in price there. We then have 𝗦𝗏𝗏, which would go from fraction of a cent again to a slightly larger fraction of a cent, almost half a cent, or a little over half a cent, I should say. We got 𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗧, which would go from, again, hundredth of a cent, I believe that is, to about 1 cent. So there you go, big increase there. And then 𝗬𝗏𝗡𝗠, again, from a fraction of a cent to about 1 cent. Got 𝗪𝗚𝗏𝗪, which would go from fraction of a cent to about 5 cents. And then finally we have 𝗓𝗏, which would go from a very small fraction of a cent to a significantly larger fraction of a cent there. Now you might see that these coins here that I've selected are actually sorted by market cap, and we'll see how that kind of plays into the you know, final quote unquote profit in this hypothetical scenario of either of these coins becoming a top 500 coins. So I figured let's just go through this list after this quick word from this video's sponsor. My personal strategy in mining is to have a diverse farm. A big part of that is having ASIC miners for multiple different algorithms. Not only does that mean less risk, as you're not putting all eggs in one basket, but you're also exposed to the profitability of multiple different coins, which could be very advantageous. And with that in mind, there are currently 2 miners in particular that I'm interested in. The first one is the new at-home Dogecoin miner from 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗧. Dogecoin miners are always on my radar as they let you merge mine multiple coins at the same time without using extra power, with more mining rewards coming from new coins being added regularly. And the 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗧 actually offers top-tier mining efficiency while still being home mining friendly, as it's silent and runs on both 120 and 240 volt power. And the same goes for the second miner I'm currently interested in, which is, well, either the AE1 Lite or the AE0 from 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗧. They both also have top-tier mining efficiency while still being home mining friendly, but they mine a 𝗬𝗏𝗏, which is a smaller coin with a smaller network. And I love getting smaller miners for coins like that in order to diversify my farm, especially when they offer excellent performance like these ones do. But where can you get these miners from? Well, why not check out this video's sponsor, Coin Mining Central, which is an online store for ASIC miners with an over 6-year track record of overwhelmingly positive customer reviews. They have all the latest and most profitable miners, from silent home miners to full-size ASICs. They can even provide immersion cooling systems and offer great bulk pricing on ASICs. On top of that, if you're in the US, you can also choose to order directly from their US stock of miners to get even faster delivery and to avoid customs and import charges. Based in the UK, Coin Mining Central prioritizes great customer support, strict personal detail protection, and free worldwide shipping on all miners with no additional payment fees at checkout. You can also utilize their loyalty and referral programs to save on your next purchase. Plus, use my link down in the video description and code 𝗬𝗏 at checkout for a roughly $130 discount on every miner in your order priced over £1,000. Like the 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗧 miner that I mentioned earlier. Or if you want to get a discount on the iServer AE1 Lite or AE0, you can use the code 𝗧𝗦𝗡𝗚 instead. So if you've been wanting to get some ASIC miners, check out that link below together with the code to save on your purchase. All right, so we have our list of 12 fairly new GPU mineable coins here, and we have them sorted by their current market cap. And we've already figured out what their, coin price would be if they were to become a top 500 coin by market cap as of today. Now, what we do want to find out is what would that mean in terms of mining profitability if we were to mine these today and either hold and they were to become this coin price, or they just become this coin price and we are mining them at that point. So let's just go through this list and have a little look, starting with Ironfish. We already kind of had a sneak peek of 𝗦 here, which, the profit after power would be just under $10 per day per 12 card 3070 rig. Now for Ironfish, if that were to become a top 500 coin, over $20 per day in profit, not too shabby. We got 𝗧, which would be about $11.50 in day per profit. In profit per rig, we have 𝗦𝗚𝗚 here, which a little over $20, so similar to Ironfish there. We have 𝗧𝗏, $45 of profit per day per rig. We have 𝗧𝗏 here, almost $34 per day per rig in pure profit there. We have Dynex, which would be almost $45 per day in pure profit. 𝗦𝗟𝗡 would be over $100, $135 to be a little bit more precise, per rig per day in terms of hypothetical profit there. Next up, we have 𝗬𝗏𝗧, $258, almost $260. Meowcoin here finally, not finally, but next, which would be almost $900 per day in terms of profit there after power per day per rig. We have Carlsen, $630. And finally, Friendcoin here, which if Friendcoin were to out of nowhere become a top 500 coin by market cap, the daily mining profitability with today's coin yield would be over $1,000. And as you can see, there is kind of a trend here where, the lower the market cap for the coin is currently, the bigger of a jump in price it needs to do to become a top 500 coin by market cap, obviously, right? And that is then reflected in how much more your hypothetical daily quote-unquote profit would be mining that coin. Now, is it realistic that these coins are ever going to become a top 500 coin? I mean, in my opinion, no, but then also stranger things have happened, I suppose, but I wouldn't count on it by a long shot. So this video was more so just a fun little experiment of something to look at. And I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I did, doing this little bit of math here. And if you did, please give the video a thumbs up. Over here on the screen, YouTube has put a video you can watch next that they think you will really like. And down here, I've put a video that I think you'll really like. So I'll see you in one of those videos. Thank you for watching.